did I try and forget it on this sunny day? On this sunny day, I can't help but feel really good. Feel like this always if I could. If I could. It's what living when the sky was so far bright. To be happy while I've got it seems so right. Haven't got a care in the world. If I did, I'd try and forget it on this sunny day. Another sunny day. I can't help but feel really good. I feel like this always if I could. If I could. It's what living when the sky was so far bright. To be happy while I've got it seems so right. All right. It's like living when the sky was so far bright. To be happy while I've got it seems so care in the world. And if I did, I'd try and forget it on this sunny day. Another sunny day. I can't help but feel really good. I feel like this always if I could. Oh, if I could. It's not living when the sky was so far bright. To be happy while I've got it seems so right.
All right, 4ZZZ, Kids with Class, kicking ass. The time is 11:10. That was the Skeletones with Another Sunny Day, and before that, Lied to Me Again by the Boys, Buoys. We welcome to the studio Susan from Growing Nepal Foundation and founder of the Return to White Chairs gigs. It's,
Yes. And you're a good sidekick.
yeah, good kick anyway. Good to kick. And Shaun, well known around Brisbane from the Skeletones and the Toy Watchers.
And making trouble.
The older he gets, the more trouble he makes.
Yeah, that's about it. Get loose.
So welcome to the 4ZZZ studios.
Yeah, thanks for having
good
us
to be
here.
here.
I think it's the first time I've interviewed Shaun.
Oh, yeah. I'm probably banned from way back.
I think when they refurbished, they painted over your photo on the wall.
Oh, damn, yeah. It's like the Skeletones. We're under the ground, mate, underground.
So we're all, once again, as I said, Return to White Chairs Volume 3 is coming up December 19th at the Trifford.
Woohoo!
I think, Shaun, you've been involved in the first two volumes.
Yeah, we've been lucky enough, thanks to Sue and a few of the old crew of having us there each time. It's been a blast every time.
Yeah.
Brought up with all the old, so many people you never see forever.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward again.
Yeah,
Come on, everybody, come out of your little hole. Yeah.
It's
Come out and
bloody
join
hard
us.
to get them out. Once they're out, they enjoy it.
You'll have fun then. Come on.
Yeah, and don't be scared. Hopefully most people have had the vaccine. That's a point of contention. But yeah, come out.
Yeah. So the reason it started in the first place was, Susan, you run what's called the Growing Nepal Foundation.
Yes. I was in the 2015 earthquake, and that led me to my work with the Untouchables at the lower regions of Nepal. And I thought, God, how do you fundraise, you know? So I'd done schlepping around Rotary and all those kind of charities, and it just wasn't happening. So I thought, I'll run a gig. And luckily 300 people turned up, and then the next one, in 2018, we had 400 people in a really good time, and I thought, maybe they're out for a bit of good time, so we'll keep going. But I heard a rumour yesterday that this could be the last gig. But that's a rumour.
Just a rumour.
It's just a rumour.
Because I'll be dead next time.
Yeah, it's really hard
Well,
to get the old
unfortunately, if we
folks.
do leave it too long.
Yeah, we're missing a few right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ed Rickard's being one of you. God bless you, Ed.
Yeah. Off they go. And I think a lot of people are dealing with life issues, you know, are dealing with older parents and dealing with illness themselves. And so, it's nice when people, and COVID. It's nice when people come out, and I think it's very cathartic. And that's what Shay said yesterday. You know, he's lost his dad and he's playing in the tribute with the Skeletones. And he said they got asked to play, Leftovers got asked to play just after he lost his brother in 2018. So him and Ed played together in the Leftovers, and they said it was so healing. And I think that's what it's about, you know. It's like not just coming out and having drinks, but just really getting some healing going, you know.
Yeah, no.
So it's nice.
Yeah, I mean,
Seeing
live.
the old folks.
Yeah. And I mean, live music is. I mean, we've all been going to see live bands for 30, 40 years. You know, so to us, it's such it's a buzz. You know, and
Yeah. Well, probably these are the only gigs I go to, so it's good that I run them.
But you were going to a lot back in the day,
Oh, God,
and playing at
too
them
many,
as well.
and that's probably why I've got chronic fatigue. But I was playing and having a good time, and so I know 90% of the people from that era.
Yep.
And I think with the catchment with Return to White Chairs, it was getting more limited as we went on, harder to get the bands, and so we've expanded it a bit to punk, new wave, and alternative.
Yep.
And maybe the next gig we can do something with that. But so it's all good.
Yeah, I mean, like it is hard to get a lot of people out these days, as we said, due to COVID, but with the borders relaxing the week, like
Before
2 days
Christmas,
before December 19th is a great thing. But getting everyone together, I mean, as you said, I'm out most weekends, Shaun's out most weekends. We do see a lot of people, but there's a lot of people who just, as you said, for whatever reason, just can't get out a lot.
Yeah, well, this is kind of era specific, so that it was meant to be a reunion and getting those old bands back together, and it's not easy to do that. But we managed to cobble something together for Razor last time, and that was great that we could see them again after 30 years.
Brilliant.
So Marty's playing again this time in with the Skeletones set, so he'll do Task Force.
Task Force, been so long. Task Force.
That's a bit of a scoop. That hasn't been let out of the bag too much yet, has it?
Okay.
We had to be careful because of all the restrictions. We didn't know who was going to be able to play, and even now we don't know for sure exactly what's going to happen. It's a crazy world, isn't it? But we got Shay's going to represent Ed Wreckage and do a Leftover song. We're going to have Peter McGrath up there do a Ramones song, the old V2. And also we've got Marty up there to do a Razor song. So we'll do a few Skeletones songs, then we'll get those boys up and we'll all be on stage together having a good old Yahoo.
And then we got the women's tribute, which is really good. It was
Keiko
like every
Uzi.
gig, there was hardly any women, and I was going crazy, like it's 99% men that are up there. And then Coco Uzi luckily came up with the idea that, we'll put up a big tribute to the women. So Lindy Morrison's coming up from Sydney.
Yeah, that's
the drum.
That's great.
It'll be from Post No Bills. What's her name? Rowan?
Rowan.
Rowan from Blowhard, and maybe some others, I think, too. So there'll be a huge tribute for the girls that have been rocking it, all these years, which is nice.
It's great. It's great. Yeah, I mean, back in the day, there obviously was quite a few women involved in the scene, but yeah, they probably didn't get the kudos they deserved, or I don't know. It was just.
I don't remember that there was a lot of us. There was maybe, I don't know, 10 to 20 of us.
Who played in bands.
Yeah.
There's a lot in the crowd.
Yeah, oh yeah, of course. Cool. But, you know, I suppose it's all different now. There's lots of girl bands and stuff.
Yeah.
Back then.
Yeah, thank God.
I'm sure. You yourself being in a band, Susan, was, you know, putting it forward to say, hey, we're out here, we can do it.
Yeah, well, I just, I'd already learnt piano as a kid, so it was an easy transition to bass, plus my boyfriend was a bass player. So I learned in 6 weeks, and I was playing on stage, because at that time everybody was wanting to be on stage, you know, and I just wanted to represent the women, because somebody's got to go out there and do it, and Lindy was out there, and, you know, there's probably half a dozen others that I knew, but not the majority, obviously, and we all had a really good time, and I think that's what it's about, you know, get the women back on stage again.
Yeah, for sure. And Shaun, when you first started out in the bands, what was that, late 70s?
Yeah, late 70s, mate. Makes you old, doesn't it? I was a teenager in the 1970s. Whoa.
But you started playing really young, though, weren't you? I mean, some of the ones in your band were 14 when they started playing.
Yeah, Cameron Howe, Cameron Stool.
Wasn't there a rumour that he was rolled in the drum kit into something?
Yeah, that's true. Put him in the drum case, he was that little.
You stunted his growth by doing it. He still hasn't grown.
But no, I think I did my first gig when I was 16, and people always go, oh, do you get nervous? And I go, never. Like, I was nervous when I was 16, that first gig, I was nervous, you know. And ever since then, I'm in my element when I get up there. So we played in the Toy Watchers originally from Ipswich, and in the Skeletones. We were actually able to play almost full time. We didn't have to work. Bands actually got paid back then. Well, yeah,
like real money.
Like $300 a night.
Whoa.
Like now, a band gets $300 a night, and they're laughing. Well, we imagine what $300 was worth in 1980.
Well, that's right. Yeah,
you know. Thanks to Dave Darling. Thanks, Dave. Good on you for looking up. And so we got every support. We got multiple gigs. We played hundreds and hundreds. So from being young guys, we became professional in no time. We had good gear, you know, and we just didn't really record enough, I suppose. That was the thing that was a bit lacking back in those days. You had to come up with the money yourself. Well, we had better things to spend money on.
Good times.
Yeah.
Or what you remember of those good times.
Still going. And so, you know, built a bit of a reputation. We had, you know, a lot of people would come and see us, and I'm really always surprised how many people these days still remember us, because I thought that whole scene would be forgotten, you know, because we were in the days of, you know, 4ZZZ was the little tiny brother of the big horrible Triple M's and all the rest of them. And so if you'd never get played only them, so you never got a chance ever to get the exposure that bands could get now through YouTube and the internet. What'd you have back then? Fanzines and...
Well, yeah, fanzines were...
word of mouth. You know?
And word of mouth were the big things.
Time off. I used to work at Time Off on the gig night, so we had that. And Scene was around. I think that's Scene Star now.
And posters.
And posters.
Like, I mean, they're still around today, the posters, but back, you know, from up and I suppose till probably the turn of this century, posters were the thing. Is like you walk down the street and you go, oh yeah, right, the Skeletones are playing.
Well, I learned how to print specifically for one job, so I could print posters and T-shirts for my band, right? And then I made a profession out of it, you know. But that was the initial thing. No one else is going to do it. We better do it ourselves.
That's punk.
It was totally DIY.
Well, that's how you do it. Yeah, isn't it? DIY. You just go.
And I love Triple Z still, because it's still DIY as you can get. Really.
Yeah, pretty much.
Don't get professional ever, Chris.
Me? No, I'm not. I don't even know how to spell the word.
So the one thing that I'm really excited about with this gig is that we've got a 10-year-old drummer and a 70-year-old drummer. Oh. There's a 60-year age gap between the Tangled Shoelaces and Lindy Morrison playing. So
right.
So we got Cameron Howe. He still looks like a 10-year-old.
The 10-year-old will be taller than Cameron. Morning, Cam. But Yeah, so Tangled Shoelaces, we'll get them hopefully in for a chat in the coming weeks as well. They started off as a very young band as well, didn't they?
They did, yeah. You know? So they're father and son and neighbour, I think, now. They keep it largely in the family. I'm really looking forward to see. I think I saw them back in the day. But yeah, they're pretty quirky, which is good. And then really keen to see Perfect Strangers again.
Yep.
They were pretty big back in the day, weren't they? Yeah. Square Tugs.
Yep.
Amazing.
They are.
Amazing.
They'll band in town. Good on your end.
They'll throw in a couple of old school covers as well. I think Bad Ronald, Crucified Truth kind of stuff.
That vodka lime and soda thing just rocks.
Yeah. They've done well.
Yeah.
Warning to the Square Tugs.
They're still flying the flag. Good on your boys.
Who else have we got? Skeletones. Toxic Garden Gnomes.
Toxic Garden Gnomes.
They're a big Brishy favourite. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't know. Shaun was telling me before we came in that John's like one of the best drummers around.
Yeah, John Edwards, you're awesome, mate. Yeah.
Right, yeah, he teaches drumming. Yeah, I've been over to his place, yeah.
And he's been through health problems and conquered them because he's got the willpower.
Good work, John.
Yeah. Mick Madu, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
And Lafette's I've never seen. And the Colours I've never seen. That's another Ippy band.
Yeah, two Ipswich bands, basically. Or, sorry, Budge. Red Bank.
Is that just the border of Ipswich, is it?
Yeah, well, it's still an Ipswich City Council area.
Right.
Separate out there.
Okay.
Yeah, they got their own thing. But we all mixed. It was, you had your Sandgate mob, which was Peter McGrath and Ed and all the rest of the crew from out there, leftovers, Hutchie, yeah. And it seems to be the boundaries have bred the weirdos, of the individuals.
The outskirts of...
I went to school at Sandgate.
There you go. There's another example. And then you got the Ipswich Connection, which, like I said, the Colours and the Skeletones and Lafette's, and we had our own little scene out there, played a lot of gigs just at local halls and pubs. And it was really strong. Lots of police incidents where they'd turn up to parties and arrest everybody and make it into the papers.
That was everywhere.
We had some proper riots out there. Ask Lafette's,
What about the Great West End brain robbery and Caxton Street riot? Don't forget those ones.
The Caxton Street riot and the West End. Yeah, I was at that one with Marty, at the West End one with Marty and Ed. And I remember well that night that I think it was the Models, which were in a real good match for Leftovers and everybody else. And so they were just about to get up after Leftovers had got off stage swearing and,
Yahooing and all the kind of stuff,
Fucking Leftovers hate you. And I remember that. And then the police turned up really at the wrong moment to try and close down the bad language because we had the lovely Models up
coming up
stage
with no bad language.
But then all the people in the audience started swearing again, and that was it. In came the task force, arrested about 40 people. Everyone was running for their lives, And that's just a night out back in those days,
Good times indeed.
Yeah. Many times in the watch house. On a Saturday night, loved it.
I told you last time I was here about the cop that used to drive us home after the gigs.
What?
Yeah. Like a friend of ours was in the force, right? So we'd play a gig and stumble out of the exchange, and there's Michael in the police car with the door open waiting for us. And I caught up with him again after 40 years.
It kind of looked like he was doing his job by putting his all in the back of the car.
I caught up with him the other day. He's just retired from the police force, and he's like, that was my thumbs up to the Bjelke-Petersen government at the time, driving the punks home.
So a lot of that police oppression was brought by the Bjelke-Petersen government, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
At the time.
We
And
got the awesome song Scabs by the Lafette's about the power strikes and the government trying to crush the power of the unions.
Yeah.
And I think that one really sums up what it was like right at that time because there was no voice for anyone. It was all oppressed. So 4ZZZ gave us all a voice, and actually helped us fight against that sort of authority rule, that was so prevalent back then.
And Task Force. Raised a task force, and we did one called Brunswick Street, which had a siren in it about undercover cops trying to catch us all the time. The drug squad or the what was it? the other one.
Under the Health Act. Under the Present Health Act.
Oh, God, there's so many stories.
Yeah, there is. And so we got on December 19th, I think, on the last one in 2018. Everyone caught up, and you could hear, as you're passing through the crowd, people talking about different things that had happened back in the day. And
well, yeah, this time we got this huge AV show. So we've got like 900 photos from the Paul O'Brien collection, and that's a lot of really early stuff. So a lot of it's in black and white, but there's some amazing stuff there. I'm trying to sort through it at the moment. And then we've got the one that we did at the first 2012 show, which is 800 photos. And then we've got all these other individual collections, which I'm trying to compile. Wow. So if anybody's really good with Google Drive, let me know, because I'm really crap.
It'll make it 2 nights.
Yeah, so all day, basically, they'll
one
just
night
be
just
seeing,
for photos.
yeah, they'll just be seeing stuff screened above the stage that just takes you back. You know, so cool. But we're still trying to find. If you got any photos of anybody in white chairs, I've got the outside. I've never had anybody take a photo. Yeah.
No.
Well, we'll put it out there if you happen to have any.
Somebody must, you know.
You know, photos from back in that era of in Elizabeth Street there.
Yeah, that's it.
So did you go to white chairs?
As a very young.
Snuck a tobacco.
Oh, I don't think you had to sneak in back then.
No.
Well, yeah.
Just,
Yeah, don't shave for a couple of days. Yeah. Girls put on a bit more extra makeup, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
yeah,
I
I
wonder
think
who got the jukebox.
yeah, I think I was able to. I caught the tail end of White Chairs when it was probably towards the end of its
I
time.
think it's 87 it died for the Maya Centre.
Yeah, it wasn't long after that they demolished it,
Yeah.
into the Mine Centre, yeah.
But yeah, I can still remember. There was a little clothing shop there as well somewhere. Sold punk stuff nearby.
Oh, there was a few down Elizabeth Arcade, maybe.
Yeah.
And the Skinnies was across
Oh,
there.
yeah, it was really cool. There was a lot going on, you know.
Bought my first studded belt from there.
Oh, yeah.
I still got it.
The Rocking Horse and the Mask. That's right.
The
Peter
Mask.
Brown is the
Peter-
DJ at our show, and he and Violet Black are the DJs at our show, and Peter Brown had the Mask.
The Mask, which was just up in Elizabeth Street too,
Yeah. So we did that. We did a pilot for a TV show up at Channel 7 or something or other, and we all had to get decked out in all glammy punk clothes, like we don't have any at home, you know, from the Mask, and comb our hair.
What?
Yeah, I know. I'm like, what?
All right. So December 19th today. We're going to do a few. Have a chat with a few of the bands over the coming weeks leading up to that, and get them in across different shows as well. I think Delirium Seeds might have actually been on Judy's show yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I think there's a few on Judy Jackson.
So, but listen across all the shows anyway, because they're always very good. But yeah, we'll get them in not only on this show but other Triple Z shows to have a chat, and everyone's different perspective on things. That
Get Budge down here.
Budge is great.
Yeah, look at his stories. He doesn't forget. And one of the Skeletones, Noel Howe, is kindly giving his services to Lafette's too, so it's a real incestuous little...
It is, yes, it is. Yeah. You're in one Brisbane band, you're in about 8.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. We all know each other's songs like the back of it.
Yeah. So good stuff. So yeah, December 19th at the Trifford. Kicks off around 1 o'clock. Tickets through Moshtix. So get on and get them there.
Get your tickets right now so you can take the stress off Sue. She wants to see the ticket sales up there right now. So come on.
No, I just don't
Just
have to
for
deal
her.
with last minute stuff. It's like that's why we start so far out, so that it's nicely paced.
And it's all over pretty much by 9 p.m. So
Yeah.
it gives you plenty of time to get home and
Or go out in the valley after.
I'll go out afterwards, like probably most of us will.
Cool.
But thanks, guys, for coming in.
Oh,
It's
geez,
always a
thank
pleasure to
you
have a
so
chat.
much. Yeah.
And
Love your work, Chris.
yeah, we'll play a bit of the leftovers, cigarettes and alcohol.
Oh,
Yes.
You never know when you might hear this song next, eh?
Yeah,
December
come on,
19th.
Shay. You can do it.
All right, thank you once again.
Well, it was great. putting you